After a busy Friday and Saturday and a very, very emotional weekend for me, of course, the Carolina Panthers opened up training camp this week in pads and had a little bit of fire. Maybe that was due to the weekend that passed, or maybe it's due to a new theme that Dave Canellis is trying to encourage. Want to find out what that was and what the weekend held, as well as the first day in pads held? Stay tuned to find out on Growlin' and Prowlin'. Welcome back, Growlers. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Growlin' and Prowlin'. Of course, you're growling with the one and only Mr. CeeLo. And guys, I need to let you know while I'm doing this show that there's going to be a little thunder in the background, so just kind of ignore that. We kind of getting a little storm. Hope you guys are doing great. It's been hot. The last couple of days have been hot, and that's not the only thing that's been hot. This show's been hot. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, it ain't going viral. What is he talking about? It's hot." Well, guys, I've only had a handful of shows that have gone over $1,000 as far as shows views go, and this one, he does it again, is over 1,400, and I just can't thank you guys enough. And I'm over 200 subscribers, guys. Thank you so much. I'm over 200. I hope you guys keep coming on. Let your friends know and continue to throw the content out there. I've added 33 subscribers in less than 72 hours. Thank you guys so much. But the problem is you guys have not let me know who you are. The shirt is in production. I will be wearing it shortly. We're working some things out, getting it on actual linen to see what we can do, what it looks like. So it's coming real soon, you guys. I'm really excited. I'm like dying to show you guys, but we didn't get the 1,000. What was it? I think I said 100 likes. I think it was for the other show, but this one right here is raising up. We got 1,400 views. I'll tell you what, if this show here replicates the same turnout that the previous one does, I will give you guys a sample of what this shirt's going to look like. I'm really excited about it. It's something different. It's going to be something that you can wear to the Carolina Panther game, and it will just stick out like a sore thumb in a good way. But let us get to what you guys had to say. Let me give a growl out to a few of you guys that had actually identified as a new subscriber. Hitman50, welcome to the family. Big growl out to you. Marcus, big growl out to you, to the family. And so many of you guys were not named. And like I said, I had at least 33, 34 individuals that joined the channel and the Growlin' and Prowlin' family. As I said, this content is not only my opinions and my thoughts, but also it's for you guys as well. You know, get in on the comments like Bob Eugene, good content. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate it. Now, and there were 3 other of you guys that liked it, and thank you so much as well. Then there's Maurice 3774. Princely's going to make Icky better. I hope so. And according to some reports that I will get into, not necessarily about the offensive line, Princely was quiet on the front today. He practiced well, but I think you're absolutely right as far as Maurice. And I think somebody else actually commented about what was said on this show. Michael said we got to have strong backside tackle on every play, not just running plays and not part of the time showing up. Richardson is showing us what happens if you let the talent speak for not your pedigree. For you, excuse me. Absolutely, Mike. I totally agree. And the reality of it is, even if we don't fix this season, and I like Richardson, unless Richardson shows what he can do, right now it's looking like it could be Caleb Downs out of Ohio State that we select, which is not a bad selection at all to go with Travion Morig. But hopefully, I'm hoping we don't finish to the point where we get, Caleb Downs. Because Caleb Downs right now is projected to be a top 10 pick, possibly top 5. But you know how things work out. Very few projections when it comes to the NFL draft next year stay the same. Majority of the time, those change rapidly, and it just becomes something totally opposite than what the experts are saying. But great comment, Michael. And then Poe Broken Lonely, one of my favorites, said Richardson got that dog we need. And it's ironic because our pastor mentioned that dog this weekend in a sermon. But, of course, then Poe Broken Lonely adds, CeeLo loved them ND tight ends. Yep, love them. Absolutely loves those tight ends. And, guys, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be surprised when you see Mitchell Evans, which I also have to bring up Jatavian Sanders later. So, yeah, definitely these tight ends are going to be absolutely great. Maurice3774 brings up, all QBs make mistakes in camp. That's true. But the only thing that concerns me, Maurice, is habits. You develop bad habits in practice. And it's always something that as a coach myself, you always want to make sure that you refrain from. You want to stay away from those mistakes because what eventually happens is they become habits. So I wasn't trying to harp on that because I believe in Bryce. I totally believe in him. I'm just hoping that they basically reel Bryce in and say, hey, look, let's dial it down a little bit. Let's not make that mistake again. And he didn't. He had a pretty good day, a couple of days at practice this weekend and today. So, again, great comment. And then, was it Vob D says, because the D knows their plays. That's partially true. I mean, they know what they're repeating, I guess you could say. But that's a good point. You've got the defense understanding what's being done. And then I got Kevin that says, remember, no pads on. When they have something that Icky can grab onto, it will be different. Oh, no, absolutely. I agree, Kevin. I think it's definitely different. And I think I said this much on the show. You definitely have to take into account these guys are much faster and quicker. And when these guys don't have access to being able to get a handle on things, it's definitely a different feel and a different vibe. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned with Icky, but I think ultimately Princely is a speed rusher at the end of the day. That's what he is. And ultimately, the Panthers, I don't think Panthers are going to see very many guys like Princely. I think Princely is special. I think he is. I've heard a lot of individuals that have been at camp, speaking about how quick he is. But as you said, Kevin, I agree with you. We're going to have to wait to see what the pads look like. Icky may be a little suspect. That came from Coach. And I'm kind of concerned. I am because, we saw this last season. And we don't necessarily need to go through this yet again. It may be a situation where hopefully Ekwonu is just rusty. Because he looked good coming on at the end of last season. I think we need to remember that. Maybe it needs to be a situation where Ekwonu needs to hire him a personal trainer to keep him, especially if Morgan and Canellis are wanting to extend him. I don't see any reason why not. It may be a situation where if we get a guy, and let's say Ekwonu struggles at left tackle this year, and you decide, hey, let's draft the left tackle, and you can move. I think I saw somebody up here. Yeah, Ronald said, I'm for the extension, but move Icky to the right tackle. I love this comment. This is a beautiful comment. And needless to say, when you have that, it's a beautiful thing when you can take a guy and move him here. But then again, it also begs the question, do we really want to part with Taylor Moton? And I know a lot of you are going to say Moton's 31 or will be 31. It's a situation where you just kind of want to move off of him. But up for him for $31 million. You don't have to pay him that much next year. I mean, you're not going to have to pay him that much. That's just, common economics. He understands he's 31 years old, and I seriously doubt he thinks he's going to have to, pay that much, for him. But I want to get started this afternoon on a sour note. I'm not happy with the fact that Amari Barno, our outside linebacker that was drafted in the 6th round, a lot of people are going to say, are you serious? Yeah, I'm very serious because I am an Amari Barno fan, and many of you guys, I will put the link down in there of one of my previous shows to all of you new listeners. I called for Amari Barno to be that dude when he got here, him being on the other side of Brian Burns, and I was just absolutely floored when I saw this article that Amari Barno was gone, was not happy about it, and I know people are going to say, well, the dude was on the bench. I mean, it's like, what are you talking about? This guy's not a star player, but he had potential to be. And I think ultimately when you go back to the Matt Rule era, how bad things were as far as, not making the right decisions to play players and not understanding that you need to work towards building these type of players, building them up. And the reality of it is, I'm not fond of watching a lot of these players that have talent and you just don't push them to the next level, or you don't even attempt at trying to make this situation just where it needed to be. So as I said, Barno ends up getting released, and the reason why I say I'm not happy is because when he did get his opportunity, the guy ended up with 3 sacks over his 4-year tenure. And a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, wow, is he really giving us the business about a guy with 3 sacks?" I am, because I saw the potential in Amari Barno. This guy was a special team stud. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, wow, a special team stud." But we look here, and Barno really struggled because of a torn ACL he suffered in 2023 late, and he got back in the season in 2024 late. And like I said, he began on the physically unable to perform list in 2024. But like I said, he appeared in 29 games and had 3 sacks, which is 3 more pretty much than DJ Johnson. I'm not a fan of DJ Johnson. I thought Amari Barno should have been getting the snaps that he was getting, because he's a specimen. I listen, you call it what you want. He was 6'5", borderline 6'6", 240 pounds, ran a 4.3 40. Go back and look at his scouting numbers. He was that good. But the Panthers did change outside linebackers. They went younger. They went with undrafted rookie J.J. Weaver out of Kentucky. Which Kentucky had a phenomenal defense this year. But one thing I love about him is they went from a guy who was 6'5" to another guy that was 6'5 plus. Weaver's 25. He's played 6 seasons at Kentucky. He was a 3-time captain for the Wildcats. Finished his college career with 21.5 sacks. It's impressive. So what this does is it gives another guy on the edge that is going to be that Princely Umanyan-Millen type guy, which I'm excited about, because look, as much as I want Barno to stay, it just seemed like nobody was ever going to develop him. Nobody was ever going to get this guy on the next level or even give him a shot. So hopefully wherever he goes, my heart's going to be straight for you, Amari. I appreciate what you did. I was so hoping you would get a coaching staff that was going to take a shot on you. But hopefully they can bring you back. But he's apparently he's cleared waivers and he can sign with whomever he wants. It'd be nice if he came back. But it was great. But let us take a look at Friday and Saturday, people. Let's take a look at what went down as far as the weekend goes. But as I said, for Thursday was, as you saw in the last show, it was Princely Umanyan-Millen. So, but let's move forward as veteran Adam Thielen had been spending some time with Chad Ochocinco, and the 6-time Pro Bowler wrote one day last week that the Panthers trio of receivers could possibly be the best in the league with consistency week to week for Bryce Young. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's not a far-fetched when we see what Tetero and McMillan did in practice today, especially given the fact that we'll talk about what happened Saturday. As I said, he was referring to Tet, McMillan, Xavier Legette, a.k.a. XL, and Thielen. Now, I don't think it's a long shot to throw Jalen Coker in there or even throw in, because Coker had a great catch at camp today. Of course, he was working on one of the lesser guys, but Coker's still a guy that people are sleeping on. I'm not sleeping on Jalen Coker. I understand what he can do. I'm even at the point where I'm at, I don't think we'll see Thielen that much this season. Between Jimmy Horn and Renfrow, this is going to be a hard triple, the three that you can pick. And Hunter Renfrow has been balling out. But for Ocho Cinco to throw that out there is pretty impressive. It's a pretty bold statement to make about a receiving corps that hasn't played together yet in a game. But Thielen went on to talk about it being a conversation that happened in Vegas. But I'm actually looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to it. But I wish Chad would just do one thing when it comes to us. I like being talked about, but I also like going under the radar. Don't talk. Then we got to look at Saturday, where the Heat won the day. It's just, if you guys don't live in the South, you definitely ain't missing out. But it was a big day for Derek Brown, who made his camp debut. After we must congratulate him and show our sincerest congratulations to him for being a father for the fourth time over. I know what it means to have a girl, so definitely there. My princess is my world. But he completed team drills, and this is the first time since the week before last year's opener. If you guys remember that injury that he suffered, that torn meniscus. But as we know that this weather wanted, I think they said that Canellis made 2 trips inside the $200,000 cooling trailer that they have at camp. Things like 40 feet long and 20 degrees. And it's full of replenishing drinks and whatnot. But yeah, there's a couple of pictures online about it, and that looks like something I would like to be in. But it was great that nobody, that's another thing we should be grateful for. Nobody's passing out from heat strokes. And that's another thing, you guys. If any of you are out there doing work on the outside, please make sure you stay hydrated. And please do not force the issue. If you get hot, please find someplace cool to get to. Okay? We want you safe. Whatever job that you're doing, we want you to do it safely. We want you to continuously to do your job, because we all need you in the workforce. That includes all of you. But make sure you hydrate. But Brown also made a comment at practice where Brown continued the theme of optimism from Carolina Panther players who believe they can end the stretch of 7 straight seasons without a winning record or a trip to the playoffs by saying, "Don't doubt us." And guys, you've been hearing me say that. Don't doubt them. Don't doubt those Panthers, especially this defense. I'm telling you, I'm seeing this defense being built, and what's going to happen later on is going to be a testament to why I don't doubt this defense. You get the feeling that second-year tight end Jatavian Sanders will see the end zone more this season, with touchdown catches like the one-handed catch he made in the red zone drill. One of the reasons, according to certain reports, is he has a personal chef. Now, I also read somewhere that he has slimmed down from, I think he said he was 248 to I think he's down now to 234. Look, I need to slim down myself, y'all. So if Jatavian, you can pass him along, I'd love to. Just teasing. My wife does a great job. She does a great job cooking. I just got to do better with allowing her to pick the items we need to eat instead of me.
Stop the cap.
Don't talk. Hey, look, don't laugh at me. I'm not the only one out there that likes to eat.
Bruh. Bruh.
Alrighty then. Then let us move to Monday. Pad day. And boy, did it get on. You saw a glimpse of what Kanellis wanted was a tough physical team that opponents don't want to face. When Trevin Wallace hit Chuba Hubbard so hard, it left a red mark on the running back's forehead, which in turn, the running back jumped up and took a swing at Wallace, who was dragged out of the scrum by Pro Bowler J.C. Horn. So Kanellis simply called it football, but I'll tell you what I really liked about that situation. Trevin Wallace is a guy that has been in and out of the lineup because of injury most of his rookie year. He comes back and he sticks the newly paid Chuba Hubbard. And yeah, Chuba Hubbard took exception. Because realistically, Trevin Wallace is trying to get back in the mode of knowing what it's like to hit. And probably what happened was Chuba Hubbard was trying to get into that groove of being hit. And of course, he spoke about it. And he called it football. It was a football play. And he just let his emotions get the better of him. He says, I'm not going to lie. I react crazy sometimes. I love football. Football is all about emotion. Now, what it was is you got hit and you wasn't expecting to get hit. And I love Chuba. But I guarantee you that woke everything up. As it did. Which is why I'm so grateful. And not to mention, once the scrum was over, guess what leader walked in and separated them? That would be the once highest paid corner in the league, J.C. Horn, getting in the middle of the scrum and separating them like the leader he is. The beautiful thing about this right here, guys, is it's setting up a toughness that ain't nobody gonna just walk all over us. And I love it. Especially if Trevin Wallace is coming and hitting like that. Now we just need Christian Rosboom to come in and join the party. I'm ready. Woo, the defense can hit, y'all. Boy, this, ooh. But probably as I said, there were two great catches that were made today. One of them being Ted McMillan with a great over-the-shoulder deep catch against Mike Jackson. If you guys get a minute, just go over to Panthers.com. You can see it on their Twitter page. It's a beautiful over-shoulder catch. And right there at the last minute, Ted has that extra to understand. Right there at the end, you just kind of throw yourself away at the last minute over to the ball. It was like he broke for the ball at the very last minute to shield it away from Mike Jackson, who had pretty darn good coverage. I mean, look, it's going to be the best against the best. I get it. Listen, if Mike Jackson gets beat like that, hey, I'm okay with that. I'm especially okay if Ted McMillan is making grabs like that and getting behind defenders, because that 4.5 speed that was supposedly 4.5 speed didn't look like 4.5 speed with the separation he got. Also, Jalen Coker, as I said before, made a great catch along the way today. And I am just absolutely thrilled with what I saw. But let me know what you guys think as far as the Panthers' no-nonsense response, not only by Chuba Hubbard today, but even by the Panthers themselves, how they're going out there and they're approaching things the way they're approaching them. What did you guys think about how the weekend ended up? Do you think we're on the right path? I think we're on a great path, but did you have any emotions about Amari Barno being cut? Are we on the right path? But let me know. Let me know in the comments. Also, guys, please, imperative. If you're joining the channel, please put your name down in those comments. This shirt is going to be done ASAP, and I'm excited. I want to be able to put as many names in there. And if we get to 250, if we get to 250 subs by the time this drawing happens, I'll throw in a third shirt for drawing, just for you guys. Make sure you comment down below, as well as make sure you don't forget to subscribe and also like the show. and continue with the great comments. If you got comments and you want to jump in there, jump in there. Make sure you go to the Facebook page of Growling and Prowling, and as well as joining the Facebook group of Growling and Prowling, so that you can stay caught up on all the wonderful things Carolina Panthers and what my opinions are on certain happenings and doings in Charlotte. Finally, make sure you go to Mr. CeeLo, that's my Instagram, and find out what all the shenanigans I will be caught up in during this hot summer in 25. But until the next time, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.